Well, Carla, to to say the least, it's been a big 6 months for you. I mean, can you talk about just what it's, having all these big moments kind of, come together at the same time over the last year.
Yeah, it's been a wild 6 months, but I'll say even that month or that week was pretty awesome. I mean, winning the belts, I mean, that was tied for probably the best moment of my life, and then triple tied it the next week with getting married. So it's been really awesome, and it's been nice having a little bit more time to kind of let being champ sink in a little bit, and kind of being able to do a couple things as champion.
Yeah. When you say letting it sink in, the champ, like, what do you mean by that? Like,
So the first time I won the belt, the UFC had me fight, I think, like 2 or 3 months later.
3 months later.
Yeah, that was like my fifth fight in 8 months. So I was definitely like mentally kind of like just, exhausted and physically, But it was nice to have a little bit more time to kind of just hear people say, "Hey, champ,"
Yeah.
because when you're in camp, like you don't talk to anyone, you don't go anywhere, you don't enjoy, the like the quote unquote fun things in life.
Yeah.
I mean, training is fun, but
Yeah.
the going out and stuff. So it was definitely nice to be able to enjoy it and kind of use the belt to be able to kind of do some good things too.
Yeah, and I honestly was going to ask you about that because I think we forget, you don't forget that, you lost the belt like it wasn't just in your next fight; it was just like 3 months, And I wanted to ask you, like, did that stick in your head, like as you were, clawing your way back to it, that I didn't even get to, like, I won it and I didn't even get to like truly enjoy it. Like, was that on your mind over the last few years?
Most definitely. I think that was a really hard part in my life. Just being, having this amazing thing that I've worked so many years to build my way up to, and then just having it taken away in a snap. And I think that was a big motivation in me fighting to get back to this place and working so hard to get back here to be the champion again.
So now that you've won it, was there like a kind of recalibration of like, what do I want now? Like this thing that I've been trying to get back for so long, now I have it. Like, is there kind of like a process to that of figuring out like okay, I need to stay motivated?
I don't think there's a lot of need for motivation because I've never been able to defend a belt, and that is a huge motivation for me. It's unfinished business for me, and I think that's why I asked for a little bit more time to kind of recover and build my way back up. I think that's why I build my way back up to here, because I really want to get this done. Like, I want to, they say you're not really champion until you defend it, and that always kind of stuck in my head. And, granted, like, anything can happen in the fight, but I'm going in there to defend this belt. I'm so motivated for that.
Have you watched the Rose fight back?
I have watched the Rose fight.
What was it like watching it?
It was kind of being in the fight was honestly surreal. I asked my coach in the fourth round. I was like, "What round are we in? Like, what's happening?"
Yeah.
But watching it, I was just kind of like, well, as much as I wasn't, happy with how exciting the fight was or lack of excitement, I think that I played an intelligent fight.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever get annoyed by maybe other people's take on it, or the fact that you're asked about it, leading into this one? Like, is it annoying having to talk, like, "Oh, your last fight, people like, it wasn't good," it's basically like that's what they're saying. Has it been annoying?
Yeah, it's definitely been a little bit annoying to hear that about my fight. I think people say, like, even when they're congratulating me, I mean, like, the fight wasn't, like that exciting, but you won though, like, congratulations. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at the end of the day, like, how can I complain? I mean, most fighters, like, don't even get to get into the UFC, let alone fight for a title, let alone win a title. So, I just focus on the gratitude that I have to be champion and the accomplishment that I have.
Well, and I would kind of almost assume that it's nice to know that you're fighting someone. That's not going to happen in this fight. Like, you're fighting one of the most aggressive women, I would say, in the UFC. Who was more difficult to prepare for? Like, preparing for like Weili's like strength and physicality, or Rose's kind of bouncing in and out style?
That's a hard one to answer. I think every fighter I think probably in some ways Rose was harder to prepare for because on the ground she is so she is so versatile, and she has so many like crazy submissions. And on the feet, you know, she's kind of her style's a little bit more different. I think Weili is a little bit more basic with her jiu-jitsu and, you know, her wrestling, but I think she just muscles through so many things. So I mean, you know, technically wise, I think Rose, but I think you know, Weili doesn't mean that Weili is going to be an easier opponent. I just think she has less differences in her style.
Yeah. Well, these fights at 115 are always great, and we're looking forward to it. Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.